the things that are going on in the earth, man. You know, people being put to death by the numbers, man. All the fires that are going on, the tornadoes, the earthquakes, all these different things that are going on in the ocean. You know, the pollution is at the highest level ever, man. The earth is destroyed. It's dying, man. But we know through the Spirit the earth is fighting back, because that's why a lot of the things that Esau's doing to the earth, like destroying the trees, the Most High is allowing the earth to fight back by destroying them, man. You know, the animals are affected by it, man. You know, don't you know whenever the Most High caused a judgment to happen on Israel, you think it was just people that died? There was animals that died. The earth was affected by it, man. It says, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. Why? Because they refused to know Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They were a faithless generation, man, in that time. They didn't have faith. They didn't want to believe. They were a stubborn, a stiff-necked people in that time, man. During the time of Moses in the wilderness, a lot of Israelites died, man, by the thousands. Why? Because they were rebellious. What do you think is going to happen in our time, man? That's happening right now. Ever since the beginning of America being established, there's been nothing but bloodshed, man. And it's still the police, the violence, the crime. You know? Black on black crime, brown on brown crime, all that, man. All that contributes to that, man. And it's by the millions people. And then, not to mention the abortion clinics. Women putting their children to death. You know? Having abortions with their kids. Murdering their infants, man. Putting them in ovens. That's the time that we live in. That's the reality of it, man. What do you think is going to happen to that generation? They're going to be judged by way of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the Heavenly Father, man. And His Son, the Messiah, Hamashiach, man. You think those people are going to enter into that rest? They're going to enter into that rest by way of prior being death by pain. They're going to know it by death by pain. Then they're going to be in the kingdom. Because we all know when someone dies, they go into the heavens and they're at rest at that time. You know? But it says, so I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. See? So what was Yahushai leading them into during the time of Moses? He was leading them into the promised land, which was known as, at that time, it was the land of Canaan. The Hamites ruled that region of the earth. Okay? And ultimately it was changed to Israel as we know today. Israel, which Yasha Allah means he is a prince of power, man. Okay? So that's what he was leading them into, but that was just a foreshadowing of things better to come, which is the whole kingdom and the whole earth, the universe, everything. Okay? It says again, so I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. You're not going to enter into it. Why? Because you don't believe, you don't want to do the works, right? Let's go over here to James real quick. This is James chapter James chapter 2 verse 20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works, when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou hast faith? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed on God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of the Most High. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith alone. You see? So you have to have faith and works. You have to have a believing heart, man. To have an unbelieving heart is going to lead you to death. It's going to lead you to be being put to death, and you're not going to enter into that rest. You're going to be faced with martial law. You're going to be faced and forced taking the RFID chip. Okay? You're going to be forced to be destroyed by way of a lion, by way of a violent animal. You know? Or you're going to be ultimately reserved for that fire, the ICBM missiles, man. You know? This is Romans 10 and 19. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses saith, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. But as Isaiah is very bold and saith, I was found of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me. But to Israel he saith, all day long I have stretched my forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. You see? Why? Because they weren't trying to do the work, man. They weren't trying to be involved with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua or Moses or Aaron, you know? Instead they wanted to all they wanted to do was complain, bicker, lead their life into a spiraling way of destruction, man. Instead of being occupied and having faith and being hopeful and serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, looking for better things. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shai Mashiach. See? So it's like in our time, a lot of people are eating this word, man. They're eating it right now. But that doesn't mean because many are called, but few are chosen. Just because you eat it, or you know it, and you come to the understanding of it, doesn't mean that you're going to be saved either. Because you had a lot of Israelites in that time. They saw the wonders of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They saw the miracles. They saw Moses and Aaron at work, man, in the spirit of Yahushua working through them. But guess what? A lot of them, by the thousands died, which is going to go into, man. That's why the Most High, he had his wrath was kindled inside of him, man. It was lit on fire. He was furious. Okay? He destroyed them, man. It says, you know what? I think it's in 2 Corinthians. I just want to bring this one out because it said that they all ate with, in the wilderness. I think it's... Just bear with me, brothers. I'm trying to find this script. Okay, hang on. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 26. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the blood and the body, or the body and the blood of Yahushua. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, and we should not be condemned with the world. Right. So basically, it's like the same thing with what it said here in 1 Corinthians 10, and all in 10 and 4, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock and followed them, and the rock was Yahushua Mashiach, and they ate the bread, which is the manna. Which manna, it means, what is it? Or what is this? And that was the bread of Yahushua. That was his body. That flesh represents that bread, which is the word here. The words, man. That's why I said in Hebrews 3, hear this voice and harden not your hearts in this day. This day. It says 1 Corinthians 10 and 5, but with many of them Yahweh was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. See, they were overthrown in the wilderness. Why? Because they didn't believe. They didn't have faith. They didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to get involved with it. What they needed to do, man. Right? For these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. See, so they had to get theirs now, man. They wanted theirs now. They didn't want to suffer through the things. They didn't want to wait patient. You know. Instead, like I said, they just wanted to murmur, man. They wanted to keep murmuring, complaining. You know. It says, neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt Yahushua Mashiach, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonish, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Okay? So these things are written for our example, for our learning, right? Hebrews chapter 5, Romans 15. Okay? But this is what the Israelites went through, man. You know, the 2/3, they were being put to death, the rebels. They were being dropped down. They were being put to death. But there are examples on what not to do. And like I said at the end, wherefore let him that thinketh he stand take heed lest he fall. Because you have to examine yourself, man. Whether you be in the faith. Okay? You gotta give everything, man. You have to lay down everything. Okay? But in order for you to enter into that rest, into the kingdom of heaven, you have to go through things, man. Okay? I'm not saying for you to go and put yourself in bad situations. That's not what I'm saying. But it's going to come. With you signing that on that dotted line for serving Yahushua, it's going to come. It should come. Because every man in the Bible that served Yahushua went through things, man. Okay? And guess what? They entered into that rest. Some of them didn't even meet death, like Elijah. He was caught up in a chariot. Enoch, they were caught up in chariots. They didn't meet death. You know? I mean, that's just a foreshadowing of the elect. The elect of the ones. Some are going to be martyrs, and some are going to be caught up in a chariot, man. Simultaneously, when the missiles are hitting, man, when that ultimate destruction is let loose to destroy America, man. Okay? And guess what? Why? Why do you think that? Because they did the work. This is Revelations chapter 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Mashiach. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead which die in Yahweh Shai from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. You see? Why do you think that those men are going to be simultaneously delivered while the missiles are hitting? Because of their works follow them, man. There's a recompense for doing the work. Okay? From going out here, presenting your body a living sacrifice, man. You know? Preaching. You know, in sincerity and truth. You know? Cutting away certain things out of your life, in and out of camera, man. You know, like I always say, man, 3 years... was it 3 years of when I came in, it was without the camera. And I was doing what I had to do before the camera. You know, and it still hasn't changed. The water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to the best of my ability, man. I stumble, I fall, but I get back up. I gotta keep pushing, man. You know? So you want to come into this thing with the sincere heart. Eat from that table of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah with sincerity, man. With fear. Because that could be to your destruction, man. You could be ultimately accused of the blood of the body and the blood of Yahweh Shai, man. Like they were in the wilderness, and they didn't consider it. Because it was a foreshadowing of that, man. But they were still condemned for it as if they did. Because they were going to do it already. Ultimately, it was a foreshadowing of them doing it when Yahweh Shai was put on the scene, man. They're the same motherfuckers that died in the wilderness were back putting Yahweh Shai to death and the apostles, man. You know? I'm going to read this one again. Revelations 14 and 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead that which die in Yahweh Shai from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their works, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Their works do follow them, man. What does that mean? Let's go over here. This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 9. But, beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. For Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. You see? That's why I followed them, because the Most High didn't forget your labor of love, man, that you showed unto him. Which you have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to this full assurance of hope unto the end. You see, unto the end, because that's where it's ultimately going to pay off. He that endureth to the end shall be saved. You see? It says, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them which through faith and patience inherit the promises. Okay? So did those Israelites in the time of Moses have faith and patience? No. Look what they did when Moses was in the Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. Retrieving information that was vital unto their salvation. Man. What did they do? They lost patience and they got Aaron and Moses and said, hey, or Aaron, they got Aaron and told him, man, hey, this man, he's forsaken us. He ain't coming back. Build us a God. Build us gods of gold. Build us a God of gold. So they all pitched in all their gold, their earrings and their jewels and things of that nature that were of gold. And they molten that image, man. They made a molten calf. A golden calf, started worshiping, dancing around and celebrating, partying, playing. Like children, like little demonic demons, man. When you see witches that dance around the fire, these bonfires, that's how they were, man. Celebrating death. Inviting death into them, man. And if I'm not mistaken, bonfire goes back to bone fire, because in the old times they would burn the bones of the dead. There was a certain tradition, I forget what nationality would observe that, but that's where it derived from. You know, your brothers could double check on that, you know, but ultimately it's demonic, man, because they do it through during the time of Israel. They were doing it in the valley of Tophet, the son of Hinnom, you know, throwing in their sons and daughters into the fire, man, unto Moloch. You know? It says, well, that's it on Hebrews 6, 6 and 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. Okay? That sounds like work to me. That sounds like work needs to be done, man. You know? And the Most High is not forgetful. Everything that we're doing, he's recording, he's watching it, man. You know, and he's hoping, and he's hoping that he's happy with it. He's happy with the job being done. You know, and not looking down and looking down at us or looking down on me, looking down to me and with contempt, man. You know. A lot of people, they don't understand the Bible, man. A lot of people don't understand what the gravity of it, man. The measure of that gravity, it's heavy, man. That's why a lot of people, they just like talking all that game, but they're not about it. You know? They just give lip service. But that ain't gonna get you into the kingdom. Most High hates people that are about lip service, eye service, men pleasers. Most High he don't like that shit, man. He likes a woman that is on fire, that fears him, that obeys the law, statutes, and commandments, that does what he says to do. He tells you to read, you're going to read. He tells you to make videos, you're going to make videos. He tells you to pray, you're going to pray. He tells you to abstain from certain foods, you're going to abstain from those things. He tells you not to commit certain actions, you know, that are detrimental to your salvation, to your health, your life. That's what you're going to follow. You're going to abstain from that, man. Most High didn't put us on the earth to be destructive. He put us on the earth to thrive and to procreate, you know. So you're gonna the rest you're looking for is death, and it's gonna be death by pain. It ain't gonna be no glamorous thing. You know, people think it's gonna be easy. Oh man, I'm not gonna feel nothing. Well, you don't know what the Most High has stored up for you on how you're gonna die. No. At the end of the day, we have to do the work, man. Okay? I'm going to go back to Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief and departing from the living power. You see? And that's why we make videos, man. We're always constantly making videos to encourage brothers, to remind brothers, you know, remember, don't forget, man. Hold on to what you have, man, with all your strength. Okay? But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. You see? Because we know this whole world is governed by sin, wickedness. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He changes the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? That's what we're in. We're in a place of gross darkness, man. This place is engulfed in darkness. Even though right now it's lit, the light is being shown, but really spiritually this place is full of demonic spirits, man. Okay? But it's coming fast. We're penetrating through that darkness by way of the scriptures, man. And we're letting the light shine in, which is going to ultimately allow Yahweh Shah to come back. Because the elect have to be sealed up. This word has to be prophesied to the four corners of the earth, man. Once the elect is sealed up, that's it. Okay? And we're going to be able to rest from our labors. We're going to be able to, you know, and sit down and look out into our planet, whatever it may be, whatever the Most High has, even in the cherries on that sea of glass, mingle with fire underneath our feet. Finally made it. This is what we've been looking for, man. That true victory. You know? But first, you have to put in work. You have to go through certain things. You know? You have to, like I keep saying, it's repetitive. Present your body a living sacrifice. Constantly enduring all forms of afflictions, persecutions. You know? Because all that's going to pay off, right? Go ahead and bring it out. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Right? It's reasonable. It makes sense. If you have faith, that's why the Lord said, he that hath an ear, let him hear. Right? And get wisdom, but with all thy getting, get understanding. It's a reasonable service. This is a thing that it means something. It don't. There's more to life than fucking being a slave and going to a 8 to 5 every damn day, man. That's not what life is. Life is about enjoying and loving certain things. All right, and I'm talking about the whole thing. The whole spectrum is supposed to be enjoyed and loved, not a little bit, because this place is hated, man. You gotta be bugged out your goddamn mind if you love your job. Waking up every day doing the same damn thing, a routine. You know, you want to do the things that you enjoy. Taking care of your body, being able to eat the good foods, the foods that are really good fuel to your body, not just eating to eat to feel full because it tastes delicious. You want to get into that science, man. Or this particular day, I want to eat this food because this is what it's going to do, because everything is aligned in the spirit, in the heavens and things of that nature. This is what I'm going to eat. And you're getting into the science of it. You're getting deep into it, man. You know, and the kingdom is gonna be all real, man. There ain't gonna be no GMOs. There ain't gonna be no synthetic BS. There ain't gonna be no raw metals found in baby food and all kinds of stuff that's going on in the world, man. All these recalls that are being done. You know, we want to get into the deep science of things, man, and be able to enjoy ourselves and to train and to practice. Like Dragon Ball Z, they you know, you look at Goku, man, he loves to train. You know what I'm saying? Fucking going to a job every damn day just to make some fucking money and buy things that either get stolen or rust and fade away at the end of the day. But like the scriptures say, let me bring this out. What's valuable to a man, you know? This is Sirach 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. You see? But what is above that? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding leads you into that, having that, man. Esau's world leads you into being a damn slave, man. Leads you to being working X amount of hours, man. You know, yeah, you get a lot of money, but that money, you know, it's not real. We're not rich. Our children ain't gonna be rich after I die. You know, we ain't gonna be in a good state. We're still gonna suffer, man. We're still gonna be subject to payments. I can't go out to the earth and get my food freely and pluck it from the field. Everything's dead, desolate, parched, ready to be thrown in the fire. You know, I can't go to the lake over here and fish. You know, I can, but that fish we already know is contaminated, man. It's polluted. You know, But we do what we have to do. What I'm saying is that things are not the way they're supposed to be right now. At all. Okay? It's all jacked up. So going back to Sirach, chapter 15, or 30:15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. That's true, man. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. You see? And the only way we find some kind of joy, or some joy, the only way we find joy in this world is by way of this truth. That's it. Doing the work, being on the highways and the byways. You know? Nothing else. You know, if you have a hobby you enjoy, that's cool. You can enjoy that. But going to work every day, being a slave, not sure of what's going to happen the next day or a year from now, you know, in the kingdom, everything's going to be set once and for all. That's part of doing the work. That's the benefit. That's that 401k that outdoes the 401k here in America, man. Because it's not only gonna fall for my own services, it's gonna be to my children, their children's children generation, man. You know, in the kingdom. It says, death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. Delicates poured upon a mouth shut up are as mess of meat set upon a grave. What good doeth the offering unto an idol? For neither can it eat nor smell, so he that is persecuted of the Lord. He seeth with his eyes and groaneth, as a eunuch that embraceth a virgin and sigheth. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. See? But here in America, that's what happens, man. You afflict yourself because you're doing the same shit every day. You can get fired the next day, working at a job. You have all these bills. That means you have to find another job, and you have to prove yourself all over again, doing the same shit all over again. And all you want to do is enjoy life. You know, you want to breathe. You know, you want to be able to go a whole week just, planning, for example. You want to go a whole week just cleaning your yard and planning and making things nice around your yard. And I'm just speaking, here in America, And you can't even do that, man. Because in the back of your mind, you got to go back to this job. Even when you take vacation, you can't even do none of that shit. You still go back to work after your vacation, tired as hell, not even wanting to be there. Because you can't fully rest. This place is not a place of rest, man. It shall destroy you, right? Let me bring that up.